What's up, P-Pod? It's your boy Sean P, the leader and general of the illest team known to man, the Purefoys, aka your family's favorite family. And welcome to another Teaching Tuesday. We have a very important and special guest. This man is dear to my heart. He is my brother. He is my friend, a mentor, someone who I look up to. He's an awesome musician, songwriter, and producer, none other than my good friend Troy Bell. And he's going to be telling us exactly what he does as a producer and give us some tips on how we can be successful, or how you can be successful in this music industry as a young and up-and-coming artist. As I said, we got the doctor here with us today, looking fresh, man. What's up, bro? How are you?
What's happening?
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. I'm happy.
Thank you so much for coming on. You are looking fly today, sir.
Man, I threw something on. You know what I'm saying?
What is that? Is that Gucci?
No, it's not Gucci. It's a friend of mine in Jersey. His clothing line, Rich Weirdo.
Rich Weirdo.
Rich Weirdo. So y'all go look at my man. He's a young black designer, Rich Weirdo. When I just copped this, I think a week or two ago.
That's fresh.
Rich Weirdo. Yep, it's very unique.
What is that? Velvet?
It's beautiful. What is it?
That's beautiful, man. But yeah, I'm just so glad that you were able to come through. When we started this series, I thought of it with you in mind, because I know that you have such an incredible story and you are just a wealth of knowledge with everything that you do. So let's just jump right into it, and let's talk about, first off, what exactly do you do?
Well, first of all, let me shout out everybody. What's up, y'all? I'm Troy Bell. I'm a producer, songwriter, recording artist, vocal coach. I specialize in vocal production, and that's me. I'm happy to be here. Shout out to everybody in Jersey. Jersey's my home. But I can't shout out Jersey until I shout out Franklin, Louisiana, a little small town, Louisiana. St. Mary Parish was up, and I have to always shout out Miami, Florida. I was born in Louisiana, but Miami groomed me. Shout out Overtown, Towns for Life, Flomo, Opalaka, holla at your boy. And so I'm a producer, man. I'm a producer, I'm an artist, working on my third album right now.
Okay. And tell us your story. Like, you're a producer, you're a songwriter, you're an artist, but like, what was that moment that brought you to what you're doing today?
So I'm originally from a very, very small town, Franklin, Louisiana, and at that town, I was mostly known for dancing.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I was a dancer. I was a very popular dancer, and but I come from a musical family. My grandmother was a very popular gospel singer. My sister was a singer. Everybody sang in my family. Singing was our thing. And around about 14, 15 years old, I started following my crazy brothers.
Oh, God.
And got in a lot of trouble. And I ended up moving to Miami, Florida, with my aunt. She invited me to come stay with her for a little while.
Shout out to Ducky.
Ducky, what up? And my aunt, she allowed me to come stay with her in Miami, in Overtown, actually. So we're down there, and I just immediately gravitated to the dancing scene. I started doing music videos. I joined the drill team, became the captain of the drill team. I just did a lot of things, even with DJ Chipman. I don't know if y'all know DJ Chipman. He had the song Peanut Butter and Jelly Time.
Peanut Butter Jelly Time.
I was one of his dancers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, way back in the day. And then I was on the scene. I was on a set doing a music video. This guy named Larry Smith, Princeton, and he heard that I sang, and he had a vision to put together a young guys group. R&B group. He heard I sing, he heard me sing, and he gave me a production and recording contract.
Wow.
From then, the moment that changed my life is the first day he brought us in the studio.
Okay.
We went in the studio, and again, I was about 15 years old. There was a producer there, a very seasoned producer named Steve Ivory.
Okay.
My first time walking to the studio, I never forget, he brought us in the control room. He came up with an idea of a song. The song was called Honey Dip. I still remember to this day. Honey Dip. And he started making this song up, then he went on the keyboard. So he started coming up with these chord changes. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. It wasn't nothing different than what I seen from church. Right. But then he said, give me a few minutes. And he whipped out this drum machine. I think it was maybe an SP1200.
Okay.
Then he started doing the beat to the drum, to the song.
Yeah.
And then he recorded that. And he recorded the keys. Then he started laying the strings. And he started laying the bass. And he started laying the synths. Then I'm watching this guy in awe. I never even knew that this was possible.
Wow.
Then he went in the booth. did the backgrounds. Then he laid the pilot.
Yeah.
Then he called the whole company in and presented the song. From that moment on, for the rest of my life, at 15 years old, I knew I wanted to be a music producer.
So he put the whole song together just like that.
Put the whole song just like that, and that weekend we recorded the song, and it was actually our first single.
Wow.
Changed my life.
And that's something that you've aspired to do and have been doing successfully for years now.
For years,
and
man.
Even though you've been my best friend for however long we've known each other,
Right.
I never even knew that story.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful
25 years,
to
man.
see, you know, where the birth of Troy Bell, as we know him now,
Right.
kind of like took place. But before I met you, I only thought that producers was just like Swiss beats. You know what I'm saying? You just,
Right.
you know, you just
Make a beat.
just make the beats. But producers do so much more than that.
Sure.
So why don't you tell for the person who doesn't know, what does a producer actually do?
That's a great question, and that's actually a conversation that I have a lot with artists, new artists. So a real producer, what you were describing was a drum programmer.
Okay.
Or they would call a beat maker.
Beat maker.
Someone that you maybe can go buy the beat from on SoundCloud, or someone that may sequence beats on a keyboard or something like that.
Okay.
Those are beat makers. But true producers are someone that will take your idea from inception and be able to make this thing come to fruition every step of the way and have their blueprint on it.
Okay.
So the best way I can describe that is, so let's think of making a movie, right? So usually when a movie's being made, it may start with a script or a screenplay, and the studio, Universal Studios or whomever, they hire the producer to produce this film.
Okay.
And usually they hire the producer based on the other works that he's done, right? So then that producer is going to say, okay, here's the budget. This is the budget. We're going to get the budget. Now with the budget, that producer is going to say, we need to hire this specific director. Why? Because I worked with him before. He knows my style. This is a fast-paced movie. Now he's hired the director. Then he's going to say, okay, we need a casting agent. Oh, let me get my girl Lauren, because she knows the type of people that I might want to use. He's going to have deep conversations with Lauren. I'm looking for specific this, ethnic based, whatever.
Right.
But then from that, he's going to move on and he's going to hire maybe the editor. He may say, listen, I work with Charles on whatever film. Charles knows how fast I like my cuts. He's going to tell Charles I want this, dark, freeze, frame, emotion, drama.
Right.
From then on, he's going to then hire the costume designer, and he's going to explain how he want the costumes look, and he's going to make sure his touches on that. Then he's going to hire someone to score, a composer to score the film. He's going to say to him, listen, I want a dramatic right here. I don't want a dramatic right there. Right there, I want a fast pace. I don't want a fast pace right there.
Right.
And then from start to finish, that from the actors to every aspect of this movie that you see, every second, every inch of this movie, the producer has his blueprint on until it's finished and delivered. It's the same thing with a music producer do. People come to me two different ways. They either come to me as an artist with a song, ideal song, or they come to me just as a dope singer, and I usually have a song for them. But most of the time when you come with a song of your choice, I will listen to it and I'll try to feel it. I put myself into the song.
Wow.
See, you don't hire a producer and have a producer do kind of what you feel, or you don't have a producer and say, I want to sound like this. You hire Pharrell because of Pharrell's specific sound.
Right.
You'll hire Timbaland for that Timbaland specific sound.
Got it.
So you're hiring a producer for their sound, for their ear, for their approach. So when you come to me, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to make the beat the way I feel it. I'm going to hire, you know, maybe I need a vocal arranger, maybe I need a pianist, maybe I need an organist. Whatever I need is going to be based on the way I feel about the way the music should be expressed.
Basically, the artist's song now becomes your baby, right? And you guys are like basically married.
You're married.
You're married.
You're married.
So with like marriages, I'm sure there are some ups and some downs that come along with that relationship because you're so engulfed in it. What are some ups and what are some downs that you experienced like being a producer?
I would say so that's the ups. The ups is always just the birth of it. You know, with any person that's in the field of passion, the finished product, the what you have created, there's always so much joy in that.
Yeah.
And that's where you're gonna always get the most joy. The challenge of doing it, the challenge of putting your genius and your creativity into something and birthing something that was not there before.
Yeah.
So that is the single greatest thing to happen. If people like it, then that's another high sensation.
Right.
Now, if a lot of people like it and it's become a hit record, then of course that is the greatest. But I think first off is just to create something that was just a thought, and to bring it to fruition, like birthing a baby. That is the greatest aspect of it. The con of it is that most artists you work with have no idea what you do.
I've witnessed it firsthand. I've sat in on a lot of studio sessions, so I've seen these conversations happen, and you'd be surprised like how many people just think that, you know, like if it's a hit to me, it's going to be a hit to everybody.
Oh, yes.
So speaking of hits, you know, I know you have a long laundry list of accomplishments that you've accumulated, you know, over your 25 years of being a music producer. But the music industry itself has vastly changed since you was down in Flomo kicking it with Rick Ross and all those guys. But what is your perspective on how different it is to make money in the industry now compared to how it was back then?
Okay. Well, oh man, it was. I mean, one of the things that a lot of young producers, producers that has not been producing for over 10 years, they don't really understand how largely different the industry was, say in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? Mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, we made, I can honestly say 4 or 5 times more money than the producers and even the artists made back then. A lot of because the digital era is phenomenal. iTunes and all that stuff is great.
Yeah,
it's great, but it has oversaturated the market so much where, and home studios. It's great. It's phenomenal to have that, but it's oversaturated the production. Everybody has a studio in their house. Yeah. Back in the 90s, you know, there's maybe 1 or 2 dope studios in
per
town.
City, right?
Per city. I mean, like Miami, you know, we had maybe 3 major studios. You know, so studios was making a lot of money. You know, so the engineers were making a lot of money. Record labels, everybody was a producer, so record labels went to the producers who know that they were capable, and we were able to charge a certain amount of money for production fees because they didn't have 37,000 producers per every square mile.
Right.
You know, so we made much more money, and even the artists made, because people had to actually go and buy CDs. The artists made so much more money, so budgets was much bigger. Then I remember I worked with certain artists, I'm not gonna name drop, but we would do 20 to 30 songs to pick the best 10 on the album.
A lot of work.
Now dudes wake up in the morning, jump on Pro Tools or Fruity Loops, make a song and put it out the day.
That same night.
Again, great for the artist. Great, phenomenal for the artist, and I encourage any artist to do it. But maybe not so great for the people that's making a career as a producer. And the quality has diminished largely.
The quality of the production, or just the quality of the artist, like
the quality. I wouldn't say the quality of the artist, definitely not. But I would say the quality of production back then. I mean, you would never put a song out that wasn't mixed and mastered by a professional, highly recommended mixing engineer.
Okay.
You just wouldn't. Now, people are doing songs on, you know, like I say, Fruity Loops or some of those other introductory production stuff, and put it out immediately, and it sounds distorted and unmixed, and it just sounds a mess. We've done that for so long now. The quality of the mess is the norm.
It's the norm. Well, it's definitely the norm for me, because you know I don't know none of that stuff. I will be quick to go on my doggone, what I got, GarageBand.
I
go on GarageBand, mix it up, lay down the vocals with my $50 microphone and my $10 cables, and we gonna put it on the channel.
Exactly.
But that's why, you know, any big music stuff that we always go to 6th Street Studios, down in Piscataway, New Jersey, and we let Big Troy handle it for us. What are 3 tips, or what are some suggestions that you could give them to be successful as they're growing into their crafts?
Well, one of the things I would say that I definitely left out, that has definitely mostly shaped and molded who I am as a producer, is that I have a degree in music. So I actually went to college and studied music. And in college, I was surrounded by some of the greatest musicians in the country. So while I was in class, learning classical music and scales and different type of chords. And in my room at night or on the scene, I'm learning gospel progression, R&B progressions, and how to add a ninth and a 13th to a chord to make it more sweet from the greatest musician in the world. So that's one of the greatest investments I've made in my career. I actually went to college for music.
So like education. Investing in that.
Invest in your education. I tell anybody that education can change anyone's situation. So the single thing that brought me success as a producer, as a music engineer, as a vocal coach was those 4.5 years I've invested in my education. I would say to any new artist, number one, know who you are. Know the type of music you want to make and really ask yourself, what do you want your music to say about you?
Okay.
What is the objective of your music? Are you interested in just making a one hit like I don't want to say but a one hit and just become popular? Or are you interested in making music that's socially conscious? Or you want to make music that changes the world? Or are you a lover? You want to make baby making music? Know who you are, because usually first impressions are lasting impressions. Number two, surround yourself around people that do this thing. Why? Because you want to have a realistic journey. You want to have a realistic blueprint of the ways in which you should go.
Okay.
You want to have a realistic budget for everybody that's aspiring to do an album. You want to have a realistic budget. I get a lot of people that come and want to hire me or rent my studio or hire me and say, hey, I want to do a whole album, but I only got $400. That said so much to me about who you are. That says to me, number one, you don't love your craft enough to study how much this costs. Number two, you don't love your craft enough to actually surround yourself around artists that does this so much that you can kind of get a general perception of how much this thing costs.
Yeah.
And know who is your target audience for the most success. I've had this conversation with people. I say, okay, who is your audience? Oh, everybody. Everybody can't be your audience. Everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody's not gonna receive your music. So the misconception that I'm gonna come out and this music gonna affect the world. I don't want to do a genre. I don't want to do a target audience. That is a one-way road to failure.
Oh wow. Know
your market. Know who you target. Know if your music is urban, if you're targeting this. Know if your music is pop. Know if you do grown and sexy music. Know your know your market and stick with your market. Now, I'm not saying you always have to stay there, but your music will grow. But you have to start with a fan base. Build your fan base first, and everything will blossom.
Troy has this amazing just perspective about success. And he's kind of like just made like this whole like diagram about it.
Right.
Talk to us about the triangle.
My triangle. I've had a lot of people that come to me and want to hire me as a producer, right? And I quote them the price. Well, because they haven't educated themselves on how much it costs. I say a price and go, oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
Or I send them somewhere, oh, that's too much. Or they say, well, listen, I need it by tomorrow. I need to record this song, I need to be finished by tomorrow.
Right.
So I have this triangle that I tell everybody. So at the top of the triangle, you have good.
Okay.
On the first corner of the triangle, you have fast. And then you have cheap. So you got good, fast, cheap. And the idea about my triangle is that you would never have all three. Okay. It's impossible to have all three. So if you want something good and you want it fast, well, rest assured that it'll never be cheap.
Wow.
You want something cheap and good, you will never be fast. It'll never be a quick thing. You want something cheap and quick, well, most important point, that cheap and quick will never equate to good.
Wow.
So know that you only can have two, and go into every meeting, go into every endeavor with that mindset.
All right, so we're getting ready to get up out of here, but man, we've mentioned all of your accomplishments, all the things that you do musically, but we barely touched on like one of the main things that you're really doing now is vocal coaching.
Yeah.
And I know that that's something that you do nationally. I know you got something coming up. Tell us about what's coming up with vocal coaching.
The second weekend in April, I'm doing a vocal workshop in New Jersey, actually in Hillside, New Jersey, at First Baptist Church in Hillside, New Jersey. My brother, Pastor Jones, has opened up his doors, so I'm going to do one for New Jersey, and shortly after that, I'll be in Louisiana doing another vocal workshop. So if you're looking for somebody to come in and either vocally train your choirs or vocally train your group, or if you're an artist on the road and you need a great modern vocal coaches and vocal exercises. Anything. So holla at me. But make sure you look out for my single. I'm working on a new single.
New music.
Feel good music.
That's what's up.
Feel good music. I'm looking to have something out definitely by the end of the spring, going into the summer. So y'all make sure y'all look for that. If you don't have this album, get it together. Make sure you go get it. It's anywhere you can download music. This album was done with my boy, one of the greatest songwriters and arrangers I've ever known.
Wow.
My boy Troy Bell, me, and so make sure you. No, I'm just playing. My boy Sean Paul, Sean Purefoy, one of the greatest. You're doing a great job with this endeavor, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Immensely proud of you.
Appreciate it.
But this is definitely one of the greatest songwriters and singers this side of Mississippi. But it's not about him. It's about me. Make sure y'all go look for some new music. Follow me on all my Instagrams, my Instagram, my social media, Troy Bell Music, Instagram, and I'm also, I got a Facebook. But
no, Facebook is popping.
Facebook is popping?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
And my young kids will big different. But definitely, most importantly, follow me on YouTube.
Yeah. So all of Troy's information, all of his social media, his Facebook, all his links to everything from the suit to the music to the YouTube to everything is going to be in the descriptions. Make sure you check him out, subscribe to his channel, support that music, and you guys, again, leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. If you're an up-and-coming artist and you want to hire Troy Bell, we'll put his email address in the description link below. And always remember to live, let love. What's up, P-Pie? It's your boy Sean P. And if you like that video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you're always in the know what's going on here with the Purefoys. And as always, please live, let love. Peace.